we're back. Alright, so the party prepares to set off to Komoa, as long as no one else has any other desires.
Before we leave, I would let Maldronicus know of the offer that Blacksmith Inc. made to get the blade back.
Do you tell me all the details that they said?
Or...
Yeah, I'll tell you like word for all, like RP is maybe Arius forgets if I forget. So they said that you can have the blade back in exchange for kind of a similar deal I have with the amulet. You're going to be basically testing it out, but eventually they will want it back eventually. But they said that you wouldn't even want to free her, even if you, or him, whatever. I don't know if I've known the gender, whatever, but they basically implied that you wouldn't want to free them if you find out like their true purpose or something. So it's up to you. I don't know if you want to get into business with these guys, but perhaps to understand what you were trying to learn before, maybe worth it. I'm not sure.
Steve, can you clarify? Did they say that, or did they say that essentially she won't be happy with what she learns of her background?
They said that she, depending upon how she learns it, she may not be happy with her background.
And they say if she found herself not to be happy with what she learns, that she is still forced to exist as this weapon for them?
They made it seem like she would, when she learns of her true nature, she would choose to be in the blade, which is what they made it sound like she did, and then perhaps forgot about it. I'm not sure how much you told me about out of character. I'm not sure how much you told me about like this stuff, but
there wasn't. You didn't get a lot of answers to the question he's asking. He's asking good questions and kind of the right questions.
Yeah.
This is very.
Perhaps you should ask them.
I like your use of the word cryptic, because this is very cryptic.
Yeah, I don't know if we have time now for you to do this, or it's up to you. You're the leader.
I feel like if I do anything with these people, I want to know more about them, because I kind of feel like my gut on them just seems to be that aren't someone that they help, but then they help themselves more, if that makes sense.
Well, of course, they're not going to do it out of the goodness of their hearts. They, of course, have something to gain.
Doing that, they're also willing to do things that hurt, that probably also help themselves, even if it's only a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's where I think the discrepancy comes into play between what they do and what I'm okay with. Yeah, with that very vague description, I almost I don't think I would, without investigating Blacksmith Inc. further, I don't think I would be fully okay with that. I would say for the time being, did they give a time restraint on this?
They didn't mention one, but they did say with them it usually isn't permanent offers on the table. This is probably a limited time thing, but I'm sure a few days won't impact the deal. I mean, I don't think you can just stop by there quickly and ask these things before we leave, but you don't have to decide about taking the blade now. I only asked because I feel guilt from our previous interaction, so trying to make amends with that.
Yeah, it seems like before I had no contract with them that they couldn't use to manipulate the situation of Saya and towards them. But now it would sound like it's almost as if I am giving them full control over Sia if I do this. And I don't know. I think we should resolve our military business, and I'll look into seeing if I can find out any more about this company.
Okay. And I know they have a close alliance with the military, so perhaps we can lean on Tonelli to pull some strings to get the blade back for you, maybe, as well?
Potentially, yes.
Another
Just
avenue.
don't want us caught in any more contracts that basically very much limit our options, which kind of sounds like that's what they're asking of me.
Yeah, that's true.
It's It's funny how they claim these things are happy and use them as bargaining chips.
Mm-hmm. I wish I was more. I may give it more thought before I so willingly gave them access to my powers, but I mean, they did save my life. So
Some of this sounds very familiar to what you and I talked about, Mal. Sorry to interrupt.
it's all right, Pierre. Haven't heard you talk in a long time.
I try to keep to myself when I need to, but here I felt, I don't know. I feel like I kind of understand your predicament.
It would seem that these powerful people tricked you into some situation. You really didn't have many options, but I still wish you had talked to me about it first, is all.
All right. Then the wagon rolls on.
Let's see what you got. Oh wait, we've already ridden with Pierre once, right?
Yep.
I was thinking this was...
Pierre is good at holding the cart together.
Do we need to determine who's sitting out front with him, or?
I think you guys are sticking to the usual marching order, right?
Yeah, but I think Zeke was sitting out there with him now, so I don't know. Is he here with us, story-wise, or?
Zeke is still here with you, story-wise. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I guess he'd be sitting out front of him.
All right. Let's see how the travel goes. Can I get some knowledge, geography, some survival, and some perceptions? All right. Yeah, this is a pretty straightforward trip. There are no problems as you move from Kazarim to Kamoa.
Sorry, I'm just double checking.
Okay.
That's what gross looks like. God, I leveled.
It's okay. So you guys begin to get close to Kamoa, and as usual, a couple of orcs come running out of the camp, and they like flag you down. They shout to you in Orc. Hey, who goes there?
It is Meldronicus. Can I fuck. I need to look for my notes.
We know you, Meldronicus.
Yeah, but there is one that I particularly bonded with, the big guy, that fought with me when we were ambushed in the town.
Hold on. Let me bring you to Kamoa, and it might actually be there on those notes.
Agok.
Yep. Oh my god, why is all the sizing off on all of these? So annoying. And now my left to right slide has disappeared. Damn you, roll 20. Damn you to hell. Alright, that's annoying. So yeah, you arrive in Kamoa. I need to get... It's very annoying when... Oops. Damn it.
I was gonna ask, does the city look more developed since I last saw it when we were there doing the negotiations, or does it look the same?
It actually... Give me a perception, actually.
Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't ask for that. God damn it!
Sphinx, it looks to you about the same. Arius, you can't really tell. You don't really remember it too clearly.
Have we been here before? I don't recall this at all.
Arius is like, look at that urinal, that's amazing. Holy shit.
Wait,
Holy
there's a
shit.
city full of orcs here?
Alright, Mal, they go in and they'll bring Agak out to you. Hey, Madronicus!
I extend my forearm.
He
Grab his
grabs
arm.
it. Yep. It is good to see you again.
Good to see you alive and well, brother.
Alive, yes. Well,
Things are not going well for the Crimson Council lately.
No, we're feeling very short-changed, I believe is the human colloquialism.
I see. My party has traveled full day. Can we come in and perhaps talk about it in a more comfortable area?
Certainly you are welcome here. You are as good as family here.
But I'd say, do you have someone that speaks the common tongue that can escort my driver to the stables?
Certainly. He calls somebody over and they'll help guide him over. There's not really a stables here. There's just like a larger tent they'll kind of let him
Sure.
sit down next to.
I whisper to Cassius, do you understand anything that's going on right now?
I know about as much as you do.
Oh, outside character question. My question about the languages, did you have an answer for that? Are we able to take your language tree options, or is that, like, not eligible to learn the languages?
So in order to take languages, when you're taking them later on, if you don't have somebody tutoring you in them, you have to follow the language tree. The language tree is kind of like a natural learning process. If you go out and you get like an instructor over a period of time, on your next level you can speak language in that language. Or you can take a linguistics rank in that language.
Because, yeah, I like, the only language I'm, like, eligible left to add, I believe, is Giant, which I guess I can just take. I don't know if it makes any sense for me to know Giant.
Well, here's the thing. So let's bring up the language tree real quick, since if we're going to jump on this. So I think I did a kind of poor job explaining it when we last talked about it, because I sometimes get used to the information that people know versus the information that new people don't, because I don't get large bursts of new people in games. So let me find my... I thought I sorted all these alphabetically, and they did not sort alphabetically. They did not sort by anything. Fuck you. There it is. Alright. So, on the language tree... So, the arrows go outwards in the directions you can go. So, right now you have what? You have Orc, you have Draconic.
Goblin, Common,
Goblin.
Draconic. So I have, like,
common.
actually that whole bottom third.
Right, so if you can take, like, Elven, if you want to get to taking Abyssal.
I already got Abyssal.
Okay, is that one that you started with?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so to get Ancient Common, if I have Abyssal, Goblin, and Draconic, can I get Ancient Common?
No, you actually need Abyssal, Goblin, you need Infernal, Undercommon, Goblin, Draconic, and Abyssal.
Okay, so you need every single thing pointing.
Correct. The idea is that if you look at it reverse-wise, that's how the language has kind of disseminated. So originally Ancient Common, Old Draconic, and Celestial were kind of like the primary languages that have kind of that have kind of created the rest of the language that has existed.
But, for example, I could take Elven then, because I have Common, and Common is the only thing that points to Elven.
Yes, Common is all you need in order to take Elven.
If I wanted to work my way up, I would need, or I guess Gnomish I could learn as well.
You could also learn Gnomish, you could learn Dwarven, but yeah, you're in a kind of pinch here for what you can learn without a tutor.
Okay, cool. That answers my question.
And if you want to go seek out like a devil, he might be able to teach you Infernal.
Okay.
You know, no.
Anyways, sorry. That was just it reminded me when they asked about languages that I was like, oh, I forgot to ask about.
No problem.
Okay. Yeah. So I would follow him to wherever he leads us.
Yeah, he'll lead you into their big tent, where the other 4 members of the council reside, or the other 3 members of the council reside.
And I did not meet any of the other ones other than Agok, correct?
Oh no, I thought you met all of them, because when you came in, he would have introduced you to all 4 of them. So you would know, and then whoever brokered the meeting, I think that was you.
Okay.
That was you, Arius. Did you broker the meeting? Okay.
I think.
Okay. So I am familiar with all of them, but Agok was the one that I was basically traveling with.
Wait, no, because
I think it was
No,
me.
wait, no. It was whoever went in the village. I didn't.
Yeah,
I
was that
I
Sphinx?
went in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I think
you
it was
had
me.
it was a
the
language
only one
issue.
who actually knew
Right.
like the language they spoke.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, Sphinx, you know the four of them.
I'll wave as we walk in.
Yep. They'll nod back. You it's good to see all of you here again. This is Cheggy, the cleric speaking. I don't know how much Agak has told you yet.
Not very much.
There is a lot of problems. I'm trying to get the tone in just the right amount. There's a lot of problems that we've been having here. I think we're getting cheated on some things in trade, and our hunting has suddenly not been as efficient as it normally is. Our
Does-
rangers are usually very skilled.
Does your hunting rely on packs towards the mountains?
No, we try to stay away from the mountains as much as we can. It is a little to the north that we typically hunt, and maybe a little to the west, but we keep good distance from the mountains.
Because as far as we know, one of the reasons we're here is that there is an expanding threat coming out of the mountains that may have expanded to the point where it's starting to affect your hunting supply.
Most problematic. Agak looks up. I don't think that's it. Our hunting problems are not that that something is threatening us. Our hunting problems seem to be that something always finds the prey just before we do.
You're finding skeletons and corpses of animals?
We're finding remains of animals, but not deceased remains. There are signs of blood, and the grass will be like more depressed inward, as if something beat us to the site we had tracked the animal to, as if something is always 2 steps ahead of us.
Something this large? Certainly someone must have seen something by now. No, none of your hunters have reported any, that doesn't seem like something that would be able to hide very effectively.
They, of course, don't want to listen to me. Gutai speaks up. I am certain of what I've seen, but they don't care for what I say. I say I've seen humans.
Big ones?
Are they... Is that... No, not... I'm sorry. I sometimes mistake these two. Humans are not the shorty, boxy ones, right? Those are... They look like humans. They have beards and lots of hair. But
Yes.
they're not human. They're like humans, but not humans.
The dwarves.
Yes. I have seen dwarves in areas that normally dwarves do not go.
Just
I have word from my associates that they have had to fell people in places they didn't belong, or that some of my associates have been fell without trace. And considering my associates, that's not an easy feat to accomplish.
I would turn to you, Cassius, and I would say, is this known behavior of rangers that they would hunting other people like this?
Hunting other people?
That seems that is what you implied, correct, Gutai?
Yes,
I thought they were stealing their kills.
that is also happening. But my men have. I have sent many a. I have sent many a man to watch as the hunting groups go out, follow behind in the shadows. And I notice that not all of them have come back. Yet the hunting party does, empty-handed. I don't think that this is a coincidence.
So the party comes back without a few people?
No. The hunting party comes back with all of its people and no prey.
Oh,
My people do not come back. My associates.
they're
I've warned you, Gutai, it is dangerous to send your people out without someone else with them. You don't know.
This is troubling, I guess. Where even would be the closest dwarven settlement, Cassius? Do you know?
that's a good question.
Technically, Kumoa is the closest dwarven settlement. Or not Kumoa, I'm sorry. Kazarim is the closest dwarven settlement.
As far as I know, Kazarim would be.
It seems a very long distance to hunt from, yes?
I agree. That's why I don't feel like his theory holds weight. I think that he's trying to start problems. You always think someone is trying to start problems.
No need to argue, brothers. We can potentially resolve this. We came here to ask a favor of you, and it would only be fair that we offer a favor in return. If we are able to disseminate the source of these attacks, would you be able to use your new resources that are now freed up to do some scouting for us in the mountains?
I believe we could come to such an arrangement. Tima, the who's plated in gold-rimmed full plate, steps forward, having been silent for this time. She is a hobgoblin. For those of you who are not aware, we are low on men right now. Could we really spare it? Oh. If this is the trade that we need, do you not feel it is worth it? If it is an exchange of answers for answers, don't you think it is wise to gain answers? I just think that we should be careful about making an arrangement that could cost us men. I get what you mean. But we made a deal. In exchange for our place, the military will let us keep it. We are to do for the military what they need.
I would chime in at that point too, that this matter in the mountains seems to be of great interest to the military. They have been very vague with details to us even, but I can imagine anyone that is able to help them on that will gain a lot of influence with them.
Well, we were thinking of moving the camp as an alternative to solve this problem, and breaking ties with Kazarim. But if you think you can figure out the cause of this problem, then perhaps we can find better resolution.
Would may I convene with my party for a moment?
Certainly.
Huddle up the crew, and I would say, thoughts on the matter at hand? Anyone having any experience in hunting of this sort? I know you do,
Hunting.
Cassius.
Hunting humanoids?
Well,
Tracking, maybe, but not specifically hunting.
they specifically said the prints were fairly large, so I do not believe dwarves are hunting on their own, if they are.
Yeah, dwarves. That, I mean, maybe, but that doesn't. That wouldn't be the first thing I would think.
Sounds like we should get to the bottom of it regardless. So.
Try not. Ooh, I am the best. Try to figure out what typically habits this area of the plains, but that ain't too good.
Yeah, you're not too sure. My internet's... hold on, Discord's a little off. Give it a moment.
Yeah, it's Discord.
Mal, you know that overall there's not... You don't have like a really detailed list, but you know that as far as like human prints, there's not a lot of things that would leave large footprints in the ground. This isn't really an area with a lot of giants. It's not like the mountains. So the largest footprints you could think of would be, you know, still humanoid, still like medium size, maybe a little larger than medium sized humanoids, like maybe orcs or ogres.
Does any of this ring as demonic to Arius?
Do you have any ranks in either knowledge religion or knowledge the planes?
No, I do not.
Then no. I'll let you have one of those two untrained, because of your history. Nope.
May I also do planes? I wasn't aware this was a planes
Sure.
check.
Jeez.
It's going so well.
I have a concern that most of my kind hunts at night don't. This would be of great danger of what I ask. Any of you are uncomfortable with this task, you may speak up. You will not be subjected.
I don't think we got in the military by being scared of a little darkness, did we?
Cassius, are you okay as well?
So you're asking us to hunt this thing at night?
I believe that is... We have not got details, but I would believe that to be the case. My race very rarely hunts too. It puts us on the same playing field, and why would we ever do that?
I mean, ideally that wouldn't be the situation, but it is what it is.
We could try during the day. It just sounds like we will have to... we can talk more with the details. But if they're hunting at night, and that's when they are their prey is catching things, then we will potentially also have to go out at night to find it. Good thing we bought those torches, I suppose.
Yeah.
I would turn back to the council, and I would say, I believe we can help you. We would need some additional details, like where these attacks are going on and when they are going.
They are not in any specific place, just when the hunting parties go out.
And when the hunting parties go out, when do you usually hunt these days?
In the day,
Is it during the day? Okay.
yes.
That would work better for most of my companions as well. So, and if your party always seems to be 2 steps behind, would it be possible that if your party goes out during the day, that whatever is doing this must be doing so in the morning then?
Perhaps. This is where we're uncertain. Many of the pieces of this don't fit together.
How far is the farthest that you went hunting?
No more than a few miles out, as I believe the measurements you use would refer to it.
And what's the closest you guys have done to camp? So
We usually have to go at least a half a mile out before we'll find anything.
When
okay.
is the next hunting party scheduled to depart?
We send out hunting parties every day,
Around lunchtime, or?
usually earlier. In the morning, they depart.
Okay, I see.
Is it every hunting party that has this happen to them?
Not every. Many still come back with a bountiful hunt, but not all of them. And more so than would normally be the standard. And there's never been before reports that someone has caught the thing first.
Well, we will join the next hunting party, and we will see if Cassius's skills or any of us have any abilities that may assist in tracking this thing down.
Okay.
And adding some truth to the situation.
Thank you.
Are there any other things that you discuss this evening?
No.
Yes.
Nothing else that we can think of.
We have traveled long. I guess my party will retire to sleep for the night and see you in the morning.
Yes, you are what we will. One of our men will escort you to your tents.
Good.
All right, and you can rest up here. Let me check for.
Before we actually go to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
I would convene the party again. And I would say, something here feels off to me.
Agreed.
And I believe we may need to potentially send someone or a small group of us ahead of the rest of the hunting party to see if we can outsmart whatever it is that is aware of our hunting patterns.
Yeah, I'm curious as to if there's any overlap in the people that come back with stuff, or any kind of pattern or anything between people that are going on these missions.
Right. Perhaps it's like we can go to where the hunting party is planning to go, a few of us slightly ahead of them, and scout the area out and see if we see him.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds agreeable.
So,
Do we already know where they're going?
Not yet.
Okay.
I suppose then we get up extra early in the morning, talk with someone about what the plans are in the morning, and some of us can leave early. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah,
Sounds like a plan.
do it.
All right. So you all head to bed. As you're resting, Cassius, I need you to give me a perception check.
Oh, joy. Are we in the plains?
We are.
Oh, good. No, that's a 15.
Okay. And Cassius, I need you
How much damage am I
to.
taking?
I need you to give me. Shit, what's mine? There it is. I need you to give me a Fortitude save.
Oh, goody.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
You wake up in the middle of the night with a dagger that is plunged into your shoulder. I need you to take 8 points of damage.
Is there an arm still attached to that?
There is an
dagger?
arm still attached to the dagger, and it looks like there is a dwarf standing over you with a dagger plunged into your shoulder. And I'm going to need you to give me an initiative roll.
Okay. Oh, hey, I'm at my max health. I guess I'll just click it on the sheet then. Oh. Where am I? Ugh.
I'm gonna be rolling this up with dice to add even more suspense. All right. So it will go first. It pulls the dagger out of your shoulder, and it turns to start moving out of the tent.
All right.
It fumbles a bit with the tent because it's much easier to slip under a tent when you've got much more time to slip under a tent. These tents are kind of like pinned down, so it's trying to like kind of pull itself through the underside of the tent, and you can feel it you can see it kind of like tear at the tent, and then the tent just kind of rips a bit from the bottom as it starts like moving underneath. But it's like just standing on the other side of the tent at the moment.
Okay. So he's trying to escape.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm assuming that I've gone and tried to. How far away is he?
Not far. Like your bed where you were resting on your like bedroll was right here. He's basically right here. So he's within 5 feet of you because he had to turn and start trying to move over to the tent, and he has to like kind of tear the tent open in order to get out. So that was basically his action, moving to the edge of the tent, tearing open the tent.
Okay. How do you do trip attempts again? Because I may have programmed this in wrong.
It's a CMB versus a CMD. And if you're using your weapon, then you can drop your weapon instead of
tripping yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dumbest fuck.
So I just roll a CMB then?
Yes.
I'll go ahead and try and trip him.
He is not tripped in your action.
All right. Then I'll try to. Then I'll just drop the weapon and then move into try to move towards him.
Okay. You can step in, and he's basically standing right next to you. He wasn't trying to pull back against your trip attempt, so you don't have to drop the weapon. You only have to stop them from what they're doing.
To be able to use it again, I would have had to have.
Okay.
I have to use a move action to retract it.
Gotcha.
So.
But yeah, you are standing next to him, and
Alright.
he is going to attempt to beat a retreat. So he's gonna disengage and move back some amount of distance from you.
All right. Oh, so it's my turn then.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to. I'm gonna go ahead and say something. I'm gonna say we're under attack,
Okay.
and then to try to wake them up, and then as he's moving away, I will. I'll pick up my crossbow.
Okay.
And he's within 80 feet, I'm sure.
Yep.
And then I will.
Nice. So you nail him in the shoulder, and you can see him like kind of wince forward, but he keeps on. He moves at a full sprint at this point.
Okay. I'm assuming that he's out of range after this then?
Full sprint is 5 times move speed. So yeah, he'll be out of range, or 4 times move speed. So he'll be out of at least one of your range increments. 2 actually, I think. It's hard to tell in the darkness. It's also very dark. Damn, you still get him again. And another one hits into his shoulder. And you can see he's kind of limping a bit, or not necessarily not limping, but you can see he's trying to nurse his shoulder as he runs.
Is he slowing down at all?
No.
Okay.
And he at this point, give me a perception. You'd need to make another perception in order to see him. But no. He is out of sight. The rest of the party can wake up and find you standing outside of your tent.
What's going on?
I was just attacked by a dwarf.
Convenient
And I
timing.
point to the gaping wound. He went that way. Is there any blood tracks or blood trail or anything like that?
Yeah, you got him pretty good. There's a good amount of blood spillage that's coming off of him.
I got him twice, as far as I can tell, anyways. I'll point out the tracks.
Should we make haste and follow him and get some answers?
Agak comes rushing up to you. What happened here?
Attacked by a dwarf. Got him twice.
A dwarf?
Yeah. At least
In the
it looked like a
camp?
dwarf.
At night?
He's in my shoulder. Yeah.
You saw where he
Yeah.
went?
He just attacked me with a regular dagger, right?
With a regular dagger.
Okay. Yeah, he went out this way, and I point towards the blood trail. He seemed to be limping a little bit when as he was off in the distance.
You said you and your team have good trackers, right?
I'd like to think so.
So can you follow up on this? I'm going to get a head count around here and make sure it was none of my people.
I
You
believe
say
we
it
can
was
do
a
this.
dwarf, but I don't know. Maybe you don't know what a dwarf looks like?
He was close enough to stab me.
Oh, yes, I suppose. Okay. Do you need us to send some of our trackers then? With you?
We can handle this. You figure out the head count at the camp. It's probably best we handle this quietly,
Maybe check if he
because
made
it's a
another.
concern that the dwarf was able to get into the camp.
Yeah, perhaps he paid a visit to another tent before Cassius's.
Yes. Very good idea. Thank you.
You want to head out after him, I guess?
I cast mage armor on myself.
Sure. Alright, give me a survival.
Oh, thank goodness.
Alright, you guys, you're able to follow these tracks very, very clearly. And it's actually not very long before you will run into you'll run into somebody out here.
What direction are we heading?
You are heading south.
South. Okay.
Yes. Standing out in the middle of the field with a bunch of clothing down on the ground, and they're putting on they're putting on their regular cloth. Is a goblin, or is a very short hobgoblin.
Is there a beard on the ground?
There is.
Framing the dwarves.
Huh?
I
In
point my crossbow at
hobgoblin,
him.
something says, "Whoa, don't! I was told you wouldn't shoot if you know about what we're doing."
Who told you
Working
that?
with the Raven.
Yes, you know the Raven. Correct.
Can I? Was he just picking up on what I said, or did he actually seem like he knew? This guy
You're not
definitely
sure.
is the Raven.
You're not sure at all. He did seem to.
close-
You did at least know that you could at least notice that he responded when you said the Raven, but you don't know if he got the rest of what you said.
Or does he
Perhaps
visibly
that
have
is the case, but you have a lot of explaining.
He's speaking right now in hobgoblin,
You have attacked.
Oh.
You have attacked a member of my party.
or I guess
That-
technically hobgoblin is goblin. Sorry.
He visibly has the wounds from being shot, or
Yes, there is. He
Okay.
is he is bleeding from his back shoulders. Sorry to keep interrupting, Dan.
Oh,
Go
no,
ahead.
that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that it was the same guy, just in case.
I would say to him in whatever language he was speaking to me, yes, it could be that you have some sort of motive, but at the moment, all you have done is nearly kill someone in my party. So,
No, there was no risk of me killing him. I was very careful.
then explain exactly what this plan entails that involves you needing to stab someone in our party as opposed to just telling us.
It has to look real, right? It has to. I was told it has to look real. It's not very real if he's not bleeding, right? And I was told to pick one of the tough ones, so I knew not to poke that one or that one. And he points to Spinks and Arius.
Why didn't you poke me?
I didn't know what tent exactly everybody was in, so I had to check each one. He was the first one I found that was tough enough.
I'm a little jealous.
Oh, damn it. No.
I'm gonna keep my bow on him just in case.
I would say, do you speak the common tongue?
I do not. You were told. They told you that we're being cheated on our trades, right? That the dwarves are trying to short us on food by giving us less for what we know it's worth, less than what we know it's worth, claiming that they're able to hunt just fine and don't need us. Even though the arrangement was because they said we can farm food better than they can.
So are you the ones who are responsible for denying the hunting parties?
We are not denying them. If somebody put the math together right, they would realize that they are coming with bountiful harvests on other days and and no harvests on some days. It all is sort of coming close. We've cut a few down here and there to keep the numbers a little bit shorter than usual, but we're not putting ourselves in jeopardy.
And who is this? Who are these antics meant to convince?
If we can convince the rest of the council that Kazarum is behind this and the dwarves, then we can get change to happen.
Who is we?
Us, I was told not to say. Because if I can't trust you, then you'll tell the council. If I must, I will fall for this if you will not understand the purpose. I have already agreed to this.
I understand your purpose. I've just been already asked to do a great deal of many of these contracts with very, very little details, an obnoxious amount of ambiguity on the premise that I am not able to keep my word when I not acted in a way to do so, whereas you have acted in such a way to make me suspicious of you.
That is
Any
fair.
sort of So I do not understand why you feel that you must be secretive with me and then expect total loyalty when you can't even do that for us.
He thinks for a moment. Okay. I get what you're saying. It makes sense. Yes? So, I will explain everything I know now about the plan. Yes? Is that fair?
Yes.
We want to make a reason to oppose the dwarves. For us to get our people to come in to the town and voice opinions and potential hostilities towards the dwarves, claiming that the dwarves are using their knowledge and their skills to make survival harder for us. But
I
we need
understand this
to
part.
incite the camp to believe that this is happening. So we have cut, and this is we have cut down the ration supply in some places and ruined several hunts. We believe that if we do this and the Raven takes his actions, you hear the phrase the Raven in common, then the dwarves will have minimal choice in the matter, but to have to take action. And when they take action, we will cut them down. The dwarves are not skilled warriors. We are skilled warriors. We will defeat the dwarves when they try to take vengeance upon us for not playing their silly mind games. They think they're smarter than us. We'll show them.
Is that a risk worth taking? You would send the entire camp to war over a petty trade matter?
It is not a petty trade matter. If it is successful, we will have a prosperous union with Kazarim. That is what I was told.
I need a moment with my comrades. I would turn to you guys, and I would basically recite the details of what this guy has told me to you guys in the common tongue.
I'm gonna keep my my bow pointed at him.
I would say at this point too, I joined you guys at a point when you had already been more of an established unit. The dwarves, to me, did not seem to pose that much of a threat, but everything I have been told seems to say otherwise. What is your opinions on this?
I agree. I haven't directly seen a tremendous amount of threat that they posed, but I don't disbelieve it.
This seems like a power play by the Raven to seize control and start a war between the dwarves and the orcs here.
I definitely believe that the dwarves are up to something suspicious because we were offered, what was it, topazes or
Sapphires.
like a suspicious amount of sapphires, and
But that was specifically Runa, and those close to her. You would condemn all of the dwarves for her actions?
no, but her and her inner circle, I would say, are definitely up to something suspicious. I mean, we already know that, but
Agreed, but I don't think this is...
By the way, Steve, perception check. I just sort of, as we're talking, I try and as subtly as I can glance over and see if this hobgoblin actually can't understand what we're saying.
Sure. I mean, it's right now just kind of like getting itself cleaned back up. It's trying to deal with its wounds. And it's like totally paying attention to its own problems.
Okay.
I'm not saying that all dwarves are to blame, but I'm saying that those are probably the dwarves they're most referencing when they say the dwarves, would be my
Right,
guess.
but if we let this plan continue, there'll be all out war between
Oh,
the
I'm
orcs
not
and
saying we let
goblins
this
and
plan
all the
continue.
dwarves.
I don't think I think that it's a completely misguided plan, and the foundation of the trades they're trying to set up is all based on false pretenses anyways.
I don't think this is the right way to seize control of the city the way
Agreed.
It would feel like my people are being manipulated into doing it for no disrespect to you humans.
This is kind of what I was worried about when they were talking about all this stuff before when we were there. Something to this effect anyways.
Yeah, this is definitely the Ravens' plan to eliminate maybe a lot of orcs and dwarves at the same time when they kill each other, leaving the humans unscathed from the conflict.
This is true. Has there ever been any notion of that you've noted of these humans having any issue with my people?
No. I think so,
It's-
do we?
As far as I can tell, the Raven and is it a Reckless
Mm-hmm.
have potentially pro-human agendas. I don't know if that necessarily means that they have agendas that specifically target other races, or if it's just kind of everyone that's not human. But that was sort of the vibe I was getting when he was giving that speech. But it was kind of ambiguous.
Perhaps we can seek to speak with the Raven before this plan unfolds. We have a way of contacting him, remember? We just have to speak looking for a Raven in a tavern or something. Maybe we can get more details from him and figure out the plan exactly.
Hey, you, quiet, hobby over there. You, hey, girly.
Yeah.
He's like pointing at Sphinx, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Or like gesturing at her.
they talk lots. You don't talk at all. Why not?
Look, I'm tired.
Ow.
It is way too late for this kind of dramatic stuff to be going.
What they talk about? You tell me.
Oh, you know, just discussing things.
Well, if you need an adrenaline boost, I can like stab you in the arm. Works for me.
What he said?
I'm not.
That is definitely not.
I don't speak
Yes.
Hobgoblin. I don't know what they're saying.
That's why I said what he say. You don't want to tell me?
I'm gonna try to sense motive on his body language if that's possible.
Yeah. Okay. You get the impression of a couple of things. First of all, he's definitely asking her questions because you can tell by both of their body language that like you feel kind of uncomfortable with this questioning, right? Spinks feels kind of uncomfortable with this line of questioning, right?
Yeah.
And he seems to kind of be picking up on it and thinks seems to be pushing these questions on her.
I'll make a gesture towards him with the bow
Huh?
to
What?
kind of let him know to back off.
What?
I
I think that's Cassius for back off.
Oh! Okay. He takes a couple of steps back.
Is
Okay.
he bothering you?
I mean, his questions aren't the most exciting thing at this time of night.
I'm starting to suspect the Blackbird did not have our interests at heart.
Spoiler alert.
You at least
I
tell me what
suspect-
they're gonna do with me, right? What they gonna do with me?
I say
they don't
we
seem
are
to
not
have-
going to hurt you. That is not what we do.
Okay.
So long as you don't
Just
get
kidding.
on our
Damn.
bad side, because a few of us have bad tempers. And then I would go back to common.
I asked in common if I should heal him.
Heal who? Oh,
Perhaps he'll Cassius over this potential
Ah.
murderer.
you can heal him. I don't see him as any threat to us.
I can't. She
You
can't
could
heal me.
slice him down quite easily, I
Why
would
not?
imagine.
He did exactly 8 points of damage.
Oh, you're changed your... Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
damn it.
Your full
Fucking
health.
10 hit points.
I will walk over to the hobgoblin.
Yeah, you have that one spell
Okay.
that you can do on
And
everybody in
healing
the world
Hexam.
once a day,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Yep, he's healed. He's healed for way too much.
No, he's
I'm
healed for
kidding.
7. 18's the attack roll. He
I'm not actually.
he's a little nervous as you step in, but like as you start to reach out a hand to touch him, he kind of like moves in to your hand. And then as you heal him, he's like, "Ooh."
I quickly back away from him once I'm finished.
That was nice. Can you do it again?
Oh, I recognize that. Ooh, anywhere.
Yeah, that translates across multiple languages. You do again?
It's once per day. I
Oh.
don't think I can.
But your hand was so nice.
Yeah, and it wants to stay that way.
Would I believe everything this hobgoblin has told us is probably truthful. I don't see any reason to doubt it, but I do not agree with the conclusions that he is trying to present.
I agree.
So what's the path forward? Should we talk to the Raven, or should we just expose the plan to the orcs?
Well, this is why I was trying to assess the actual danger of the dwarves, but it seems like a lot of orc lives would be lost in this reckless fight, and I doesn't even necessarily guarantee things will be better for them after humans have taken control of Kazaram.
Agreed.
It seems like the humans want the the goblins and the orcs to do all the work for them, and then get all of the benefit themselves.
Agreed.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty corrupt city throughout.
If it has truly gotten to the point that the dwarves do need to be overthrown, then perhaps my people would be willing to assist. But I think we would need to guarantee some sort of seats of control in the town.
I agree. I think there's too much of a monopoly on the power in the city.
Especially given that the Raven did not see, or the Blackbird did not see it fit to share any of these details with us before doing it, even though he knew of my arrangement with the Crimson Council. Does anyone have any other questions that they would like me to ask this hobgoblin?
I don't think so.
Hey,
Nothing
hey
comes
you,
to mind.
hey you, big talky like me guy.
I turn to him and I say yes.
Hey, you two talk a moment, then she touch me. You make her touch me again.
Is he gesturing
No.
back at her again?
Yeah. It felt nice. I know have that back where I am.
If he wants his wounds healed up, I have some alcohol that'll kill any germs that are going on in there.
You will heal on your own, and I think it's to be a good thing for you to experience, so that you opt not to come back to this camp before we have consulted with the Raven ourselves.
But healing not feel same.
I look at you, Sphinxor, and I say, if you wish to heal this person, then you may, but you are under no orders to do so.
What he say you? He say you heal me? He call it heal. You do heal again?
That's only if I want.
But, so you want to? Yes? Me want another heal. That how that works, right? We trade? And he like picks up the dwarf beard and he like, we trade?
I don't want your beard.
He picks up other like dwarf clothing. You want?
Actually, this could be useful evidence if needed. Perhaps we should do this.
What'd he just say? He
What'd
say
he
you
just
have
say?
to take deal, right? Here, you take these. Give me more touchies.
What is this guy talking about?
Are we serious?
He's holding this pair of dwarf pants in front of him.
I think it's actually useful to the party if you do this, Sphinxor.
Is he, what? Giving up his pants? Is that what he's doing? He's trying
It's
to
a
offer
dwarf.
Is that an order?
It's a dwarf disguise. It'll be very useful in presenting our case.
Is that an order? Do I have to waste a spell point on this?
Now, you probably have a potion, right?
We're just going back to sleep anyways. Do your magics recover as we sleep, as I do?
He's giving off real creepy vibes.
He is giving off super creepy vibes.
I don't think it's as much about the healing as it is about the touch.
It's a combination of both. Like, could you imagine like going from all of your wounds hurting to just all of a sudden that pain being completely gone?
I think he's felt that before.
This
Oh, but
hobgoblin?
it's not the same in prison.
No, I mean Cassia.
Oh.
Oh yeah, once or twice.
As I said, Sphinxar, it is up to you. I guess make your decisions so that we may return to camp.
Yeah, I don't think he's in any position to be offering us any kind of bargains.
No, it's... What'd you say? There's so much talking, and I don't hear it. Tell me what you say! I have these, and these! He's now, like, holding up the pants and the shirt.
No,
Okay, he grabs the beard, and all of it!
no.
No. Okay.
Naked?
No, he put on, like... So
Oh.
they normally wear leathers, is what they wear. Or hides, rather, not leathers.
And he just had that on over it.
Well, he took off the hides and, like, kept them
Oh,
here,
yeah.
and then he changed into the outfit when he got back to here.
Yeah, my bad. I forgot about that.
What do you do now? Me go now?
I have no further questions for you.
So I go? I got busy day tomorrow.
Go.
He scoops up his stuff and he goes off running.
Did you tell him to leave?
Yes, I don't think him to be the real threat here.
Just making sure. Before I shoot an arrow at him.
All right. Well, let's take this opportunity to take a short break. You guys can think things over, and we'll see where we go from here. Be back.